Hi guys, I'm Sean Burgess at InvincibleTeamFitness.com. Thanks for watching my last video on basic fitness training and endurance. And this one here, I'm going to talk to you about hypertrophy training, which basically means how to add muscle size. Okay, this is always one of the big areas that guys want to try and train for when they come down to the gym, but often get wrong. Okay, why do they get it wrong? Because they just take the wrong advice, they download internet articles, or they just talk to their friends, and they end up actually not lifting weights for the required period of time to get the maximum amount of hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is basically when you see the muscle inflame, so the muscle will start to swell, and that's obviously how you see that increase in size. So you're trying to improve the cross-sectional area of the muscle, and that's going to relate to obviously bigger gains. So, with hypertrophy training, you've got a few variables to consider. The rep range is really important, but actually what goes behind that is the tempo. The tempo is really, really important, and it's pretty much the most important aspect of this type of training system. So studies now show, and a lot of studies by Charles Poliquin show, that if you want to increase your hypertrophy, okay, of a muscle group, you need to be lifting for each set between 40 seconds to a minute 10. Okay, so if my tempo is 2 seconds up, holding for 1 and coming down, okay, we've got 4 to 5 seconds on each rep. You can do the maths. If you times that by 10, you've got 40 to 45 seconds for a set of 10 reps. Okay, so even when I see guys working in the same hypertrophy range as I program, say 10 to 12 reps or 10 to 15 reps, they're lifting the weights too quick, and what happens is you're not putting the body underneath enough stress. So hypertrophy training all relates back to what we call time under tension, okay, or TUT. Time under tension is really, really important, guys, and it's the main factor which is going to see you get the best results out of your training. So, when I program, I will always put between 10 and 15 reps, because studies also show at a maximum we can work up to a minute 10 to increase the cross-sectional mass and get that hypertrophy, obviously when we're trying to lift weights. Studies also now show as well, if you want to really achieve pure hypertrophy and get optimum gains, we really need to be performing about 80 reps per muscle group, or in other words, 8 sets. Okay, so if we do 8 sets of 10 on, say, our chest, and we repeat that cycle for a good period of time, say 6 to 12 weeks, following the correct diet, we should start to see some good results coming through. So with hypertrophy training, you can split it up in any way you want. We're just going to try and use compound exercises so we can obviously increase how many muscle fibers we hit and how many muscle groups we hit. So we say we might, for instance, do 4 sets on the bench press, 4 sets on the chest press using dumbbells, and that's our workout for our chest done. Boom. Okay, so intensity wise, we're always going to be trying to lift around sort of 70% of our max. Okay, so we're still trying to lift a fairly heavy weight, but obviously, you know, because it's a higher volume program, we're lifting more for more repetitions. That weight's obviously going to have to drop down, and you're going to find the fatigue, guys, will kick in really quick. Why? Because we're also trying to keep the rest period down as well. So studies again show to get the maximum amount of hypertrophy in a muscle group, we need to be resting really beneath 60 seconds. So we're going to be working between resting between 30 and 60 seconds to get that optimum amount of growth, so we can keep the lactic acid in the muscle, and we don't replenish what we call hydrogen ion. So we're just trying to keep, obviously, the muscle swollen up, okay, and we're trying to obviously, you know, keep that pump effect going. So hypertrophy training, guys, that's the biggest thing to remember. We're working for tempo, so see, if it says 10 to 15 reps, really that means 40 seconds to a minute 10. Okay, and like I said, we're trying to really work for about 8 sets per muscle group, and that can be broken down in a number of different ways. There's a number of different training systems which you can use to try and really optimize your hypertrophy gains. So we'll talk about that to you in future videos, the differences between concentric training, isometric and eccentric training. For now, don't worry about too much what that means. We'll talk about that more in future videos. But this is the most important thing to remember, guys. 10 to 15 reps, around 8 sets per muscle group, and always, always, always think about the tempo of how you're lifting. So thanks for watching this short video. Please check out my next one on muscular strength training. I've been Sean Burgess at InvincibleTeamFitness.com. Go online to my website, Invincible Team Fitness, and check out my new 10-week program, and hopefully I'll see you all again soon.